Hey FlossTube, how are ya? This is Annette from Annette's Acre. It is Wednesday, July 17th. This is video number 45. And it's about time for an update. It's been a couple months, but things have been extremely hectic here at the acre. And I'll save all those details to the end in case you are not interested in the ups and downs that of the life here. But I thought I was taking the time. It's Wednesday. I've been working from home quite a bit, and I had some time this afternoon, and I figured, what the heck, I better get on here or else the pile of stuff to show is going to bury me, and then who knows what we'll end up with. So I thought I'd just jump on and make a quick update on what I've been working on, the finishes I've had, and okay, sorry about that. I have two puppies in here with me since I'm the only one home. Mike's gone to work and Zachary's out with a friend of his, so I'm here by myself, which is why I thought it would be good timing to do a video, because like I said, I got a lot to show. So all that being said, welcome, happy July. I can't believe that we're halfway over, and even, you know, we are well into summer here in Arizona, so it's warm and toasty outside. So I am not, I'm not unhappy about working from home quite a bit. Next week I am off to Chicago and Indiana for work, which will be another very hectic week. But anyway, we're here today. So first up, let me show a couple things that I actually have finished since we last chatted. One was planned, two were not, and then we'll go from there. So first thing is I started and finished Mill Hill Pineapple. So it's already finished with the magnet and everything. So Max did not get a hold of this one, so he let me actually finish it off. So it's done. And then the other thing I finished was American Pie Mill Hill. Again, it's magneted, felt on the back with the magnet. So I started and finished both of those because I felt like it. The big finish that I was planning on, based on the last video, I did manage to get done prior to May 30th. It has not been pressed and it has not been framed, but I'll show you anyway. So here it is, King Arthur's Court. This is from the Cross Stitch collection, October 2005, I think, magazine. But it's all done. I did manage to finish it before the end of May, which was my deadline. Yay. I have not taken it to the framer yet. I actually have all the stuff that I showed in my last video plus this to take to the framer. It's just, you'll understand when I tell you all the crap that's been going on. But I will within, probably not this weekend, and probably not the weekend after that, but hopefully the first weekend in August. I will take it over. So I finished a couple of other items too, but it's mini finishes. So I've been working on a triptych from the Plum Street Samplers animal stacks. So I finished Goat Load and Cow Pile, and I've got Hen Peck started, and then that will complete the triptych. So these have both been done within the last couple months. Completed those off. Starting the hen peck. The rest of this is in no particular order, just as I had it piled up here. So, and another small new start. I tried to be prepared, but not as prepared as I had hoped. Not as prepared as I had hoped to be. Flag of Stars. So I started this one. It was a kit, and I started it with all the kit materials, which is an 18 count. This goes. So it's an 18 count linen over 2 with pearl cotton. So Now this will probably go with me traveling next week because it's very easy to see. Don't need a magnifier or anything. So that is a new start. I also started the Ink Circles Mysterious Adventure project, which is we talked about last week. So here's my start. I need to sorry, I'm losing needle minders. Whoop. Anyway, I have one side complete. One side of my border, the edge of my border complete. So there it is. So close up so you can see the colors. I am using all Dinky Dyes and or Silks for You silks. I need to do some more. The next part's going to be released like next week already. I also made a project bag for it. That's a little map. I had map fabric that I found. What you doing, Maxie? This is not a new start. This is Death by Cross Stitch. I have a page finish. Woohoo! I have a page finish. This is the lower left page of the design. All done. And this is again using a Silks for You variegated silk on 40 count white linen. I was very happy to get that page finish. Only 27 more to go. I also worked quite a bit on Brooks Books Snow White dress up. Here's where we are now. Getting really close. This will come out again this month because I need to do some it'll work for some Magical Stitches homework. So I'll be pulling this out, or not homework, extra credit. It works for one of the extra credits. So I will be pulling it out for that. The next one I worked on is Glendon Place. Glendon Place. Plum pudding. Here's the piece. There we go. Here's where it is now. Not quite halfway, or maybe halfway without the beads. Of course, this is on Vintage Stormy Clouds Belfast, which is a nice gray mottled Belfast, but lots of progress. This went very well. Also, another got pulled out for Magical Stitches, and I just kept working on it. So it was not easy to put down. Another one that came out to play, Magical Stitches, Away We Ride, Blackbird Designs. This I worked on last week. It's the majority of last week. It's pretty good shape there. I finished the house, the second bird, and then the potted flowers. So again, not easy to put away. This is on 36 count Oaken. I'm finding that 4 days seems to be about as long, unless it's something that I'm really working on. 4 days seems to be about the time that I all of a sudden find other things that I need to do rather than to stitch, like, you know, organize floss or organize buttons, or, you know, catch up on blogs, which I very rarely do, or obviously scroll Facebook and Instagram. So 4 days seems to be about it. So most of these are about anywhere from 2 to 4 days of progress. The current piece that I'm in the midst of working on, again for Magical Stitches stuff, but also today's day 4, so hopefully I can get to it, is Sew to Stitch Movies in My Memory. Now, I'm doing, here's the whole chart. I'm doing this one. So this teeny tiny little Red and Scarlet. Can I focus? Focus. Anyway, it's Red and Scarlet. When I worked on it last time, I had Scarlet complete, all of her stitching complete. She still needs her back stitch. And so now I'm working on Rhett. So I've been working on Rhett this week. He looks kind of creepy with his face right now. So I'm hoping to finish his head tonight. Then I'll probably put it down and I won't do the back stitch until next month. The reason being is that it's part of my WIP album in School of Magical Stitches, and I haven't kept up on what to do if we finish something in the WIP album, and evidently the WIP album will be used multiple times this month. So I don't want to finish something and then have them call it as part of a homework assignment and go, oh crap. So I'll finish the stitching. I'll finish his head because it's just creepy if I don't finish the head. But I'll put it aside and do the back stitching next month to finish it off. And then the last WIP that I have is for it's Cloud's Factory. I don't have a good cover picture, so I'll just hold the chart way back here. So it's the Nevermore Biscornu. Just doing it in DNC. So I have the top done. So the top is complete. He's all done. Lots of magical stitches. And then I have the bottom, the outline of the bottom, so I could do the placement. But the bottom is just the green, these green viney things and flowers. There's just 4 of them. So I'll pick it up again here. Maybe this weekend. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I just need to do the bottom. This is for an exchange, so it's not actually due to be finished until end of August, I guess, early September. It's a Halloween exchange, so I have plenty of time, but I don't want to put it off too much. But I do have a good amount of time. So that's pretty much the stitching. I had a couple other projects that I did just like a day here, a day there. I'm not going to show those because, yeah, I mean, I'll show them. None of them are done, so I'll just show them the next time when they get done. However, other things I've been doing is I've been knitting again. The knitting bug has come back. I started and finished a shawl. I know, shocking, right? Now this is not blocked, but I probably won't block it because it's a worsted. This is a worsted weight shawl. It's called Winter Spark. How's that? Winter Spark. It took me less than 30 days to do it, and I might knit a little bit, a couple of rows, I guess, every day. If we get in the car and drive somewhere, I usually have knitting in the car with me. And then for a while I was just taking like one night a week and doing an hour or two of knitting. before I would stitch a bit. So, but this is Winter Spark Shawl. This is the yarn is Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, which is wonderfully squishy, and I love it. It's wool. I'm very much looking forward to it being cool enough to wear, because I love it. I love it. It went really fast. So, I bought the yarn for this when I was when I was in Nashville at the very end of May. So I was in Nashville for a get-together, and we went to House of Yarn, and so I bought yarn for this project. And I also bought yarn for another project called the Burrow Wrap. And then once I finished my Winter Spark, I started the Burrow Wrap, and that's what this is. It's not as far. It's much larger, and it's fingering weight yarn. So I have to find the front. Here's the front. So here's just the beginnings of my Burrow Wrap. It's done in 9 colors of fingering weight Koigu yarn, held with a strand of, I don't know what this is called. This is Shibui or Kid Silk K's Rowan. It's just a really fine kind of mohair. I don't think it's not mohair though. It gives it a little bit of a bloom and added softness to the Koigu, which can be kind of stiff. So that's the current knitting project. It has my attention. So I did some knitting. I also made some project bags. I made the mat bag that I showed you already. That was my second attempt at a project bag with that fabric. My first attempt at a project bag with that fabric was a vinyl front bag. I am not going to show this close because, oh my gosh, I have the greatest respect for people that do more than one of these, because this thing about drove me nuts. So here's the back, and here's the front, and it's good for me, and I'll probably never make another one of this particular style, because nothing wrong with the directions. I found a tutorial, but it just did not work well for me, so we won't be doing those anymore. But I was very successful. I was very successful with the other style, like I had my mat bag, and then I also made this one too. So this one is very nice. It's just got a plain light colored interior. I've had this fabric for a while. It's got a little bit of sparkle, which you're not seeing, but so this style worked. This was Helen D's project bag tutorial. Worked like a charm. I had no problem whatsoever. I'll be sticking with this kind for the foreseeable future. So it already has a project in it, but it's not started, so I'm not going to show you what it is. So, and then the third project bag that I made was for the Burrow Wrap, because it has so much yarn. I needed a big bag. So these were actually napkins. These are from Walmart, from Pioneer Woman. Would you hush? Pioneer Woman napkins that I bought ages ago, with the thought of, oh, I could do a bag or something. So I did it. So here's my bag. I just put the napkins together. And then the inside are more napkins. They came with 4 in the package, all different colors. So I just used the different colors. Okay. I just used all 4 of them and slapped them together, and then I put a little boxing. I boxed the bottom because again, it's got a bunch of yarn in it, and then I can fold over the top, and it holds everything nice and so that worked out well. Little bit. Hold on. Sorry about that. Evidently, something that was in dire need of their attention. So I let them out. All right. So haul, yes. My needle minders. I mean, come on. How can you resist these? Game of Thrones, Batman, one of my favorite shows as a kid. You know. I finally saw these particular charts enough times that I decided I'd best go find them before I couldn't find them. Long May She Wave, Home of the Brave, and Land That I Love, or Land of the Free. Sylvia started these and showed them in the Off the Grid group, so of course I had to hunt them down. They were at 1, 2, 3. It wasn't a difficult hunt. So I got those. I went to Attic a couple, 3 or so weeks ago and picked up a couple things. Scarlet House Patriotic Shaker Box. They had this stitched up on the table. It's very cute. And then I also bought Harriet Salt. Because holy cow, red. I have to do the red. I ordered some fabric, 46 count fabric. It's on order. When it gets here, it gets here. Once it gets here, I will figure out what kind of red thread I'm going to use on it, depending upon, you know, the holes and stuff like that. So, but I wanted a color that was essentially the same as the cover picture. The linen that's called for is actually much darker, but I wanted something lighter. So Jean sold me on some 46 count. So I'm waiting for that to come in. And then I bought a pattern actually for a different style of project bag, which I will give a try too, because I kind of went on a project bag spree. I kind of went on a project bag spree. Diane, It Is Kismet, put some of her bags in the Eclectic Possessions group, and so I bought this set, Halloween, and then it's got a matching smaller bag, and it already has a project, Hallows Eve, not started yet. And then I got this set because it was very Christmassy looking, which I thought was very pretty. And then I actually got really lucky and happened to hit the group when Emily had posted her latest set of Momily bags, so I got another one of those. And then everybody has been talking about the Diddly Daddle design bag, and so I went to look at hers and I found this one with all the puppies. So I had to get this one. So you can see why I started actually making my own project bags, because I was on this project bag spree, and holy crap, I'm not going to just keep buying project bags. Lord knows I have enough fabric that I can make my own. So that's what then prompted me to make the 4 that I made. And I have plans for a couple more, not even taking into account the pattern that I bought. So who knows? I will not be making them to sell. It's just, they're just for me. I'm not that good. Like I said, I applaud everyone that does it for sale, because I will be keeping my day job. That's all I gotta say. I'll be keeping my day job. So that's pretty much what I have to show. So just to give you an idea of what's been going on for the last couple months. So the last we spoke was early May. And then at the end of May, Memorial Day weekend is always the Phoenix Fan Fusion, formerly known as Phoenix Comic Con. So I did work the event as I have for the last 7 years. The guest that I was assigned to, however, could not make it because of scheduling conflicts that came up. So I ended up just sort of working with lots of different folks. And it was very interesting. It was a much calmer event. I mean, it was still big and there were lots of people and, you know, tens and thousands of people there. And very busy. The lines were busy and everybody was great though. So it was a good time. Next year, I think I'll only work maybe a day, maybe 2 at the most. The weekend after that, I went to an annual get-together in Nashville, which was great fun. Some of these ladies I see once a year. We've been getting together for, this was the 9th year this year. Sadly, the LNS in Nashville closed since our last get-together. But we made up for that and went to House of Yarn. I showed that. As well as a fabric store that is just has to be seen to be believed. It's just incredible. So there was still a little shopping and lots of stitching and talking and chatting and laughing and having a good time. So that was a very nice break with all the craziness. Unfortunately, a few days before I went to Nashville, my son got rear-ended on his way to work. He and his girlfriend were in the car on the way to work and stopped at the red light just before they were getting to their work site, and they got rear-ended by a large truck. So, and unfortunately it totaled their car. So we have been dealing with fallout from that, everything from chiropractor appointments to dealing with insurance companies and trying to figure out what we're going to do to replace the car. He was out for a couple 3 weeks because of back and wrist issues, because he saw the guy coming, so he held on to the steering wheel, so it sprained both of his wrists. He's fine now. His girlfriend is good. She only had a couple 3 days of discomfort, mostly from the seatbelt. But seatbelt on this side. So they're fine. Unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, they were notified that they were going to be laid off from this job, which is unfortunate. So while I was, ferrying him to and from work, when he went back to work, now he's not working, and looking for a new job because they were essentially laid off due to a workforce reduction. They'd hired too many people and now they didn't have either enough seats or business. So, which is unfortunate because he really actually enjoyed the work and he was doing quite well. Both of them were. So now they're looking for new jobs, which bought us a little more time on figuring out what to do to replace his vehicle. But still, it's just a pain. If it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not one thing, it's another. So all of that has been going on. Loss of job, car accident, total car. I did not travel at all in the month of June. I basically told my boss that I was burned out on travel, and with everything going on, I needed to not travel. So I didn't. Next week will actually be the first time since early May that I've traveled back to the Midwest. So, but it's okay now. We're okay now. So we'll do that. I'm so excited to go to the humidity. Not. We do have, but then next month, actually a month from today, my husband and I will be on a boat sailing on a cruise to Alaska. So we leave for our Alaska cruise on the 16th of August. So very excited and very much looking forward to that. I actually bought a new set of luggage thanks to Amazon Prime Day. So I bought new luggage for the trip. So that's fun. So that's been kind of the whys and wherefores. My husband's been doing a lot of training because he's getting ready to transition to a new role within the company, and so he had to complete a lot of software training before that could happen. So he's been focused on that most evenings and a good chunk of the weekend, which is another reason why I haven't been recording it all on the weekend. And he's not actually doing a whole lot even you know, practicing or anything at this point. So we're hoping that that will calm down here. If not before the cruise, then directly after. He actually, there's a good chance that he might actually be doing more traveling than I will, which is going to be a very different experience for him because he'll be traveling to Texas by himself. So I'm waiting for those phone calls. Will be fun. But that's what I got. So lots of whips, lots of progress. Made my end of May finish. Yay! And now I'm just sort of going week to week and letting things kind of go as they will, and picking projects, and I'm starting to give a thought as to what I'm going to take with me on the cruise. I'm not expecting a whole lot of stitching time, but there will be some, so I want to make sure I've got something. I did buy a lap stand, an artisan design lap stand. It's in the other room, to take with me to make it easy for my Q-stamps and stuff. So I've got that, and we're very excited, So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a wonderful day, weekend, whenever you watch this. I hope you are doing well. You're staying cool in the northern hemisphere, staying warm in the southern hemisphere, and we'll see. I want to see you. All right.